Hi, from Teacher Melissa. And I just wanted to make a really quick video. Actually, the video might be a little longer, but I wanted to get on and make it real quick for you about Chinese New Year. Now, right now, it is New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2019, when I am making this video. And so we have our American New Year tomorrow, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Chinese New Year, which for this year, 2020, for the year coming up, it is January 25th, is the actual date of Chinese New Year. So let's talk about this. There's many things people want to know. They want to know about bookings. They want to know about when to book, what kind of classes students take. Should this would be a good time for a teacher to take a week off. So I am just going to share my experiences and what has worked for me and what has not worked for me. And then you can maybe plan a little bit better. So first of all, the first year I taught, the first time I signed my contract was 3 days before Chinese New Year 2 years ago. So this is my third Chinese New Year. And it was a disaster because I was a brand new teacher. I had no regulars built up. I did not have any supplementary courses. I did not even have trials at the time. I only had levels 2 and 3. And so I just did not get any bookings at all. And I spent that month of January just learning how to build my business. I took lots of workshops. I read everything that I could find. I watched YouTube videos. So if that's you this Chinese New Year and you just signed a contract, or you're just a very, very new teacher and don't have regulars built up, I just want to let you know that it is very common that you might not get a lot of classes. So that being said, it is a good time to build your business. It is a good time to invest some time in learning, taking workshops, watching videos, certifying for new classes. You won't be making a lot of money, but you will be building yourself up for success. So if you don't get a lot of classes, I'm sorry, but that's kind of the nature of the business of Chinese New Year. And let me tell you why. Right now, starting now, we are beginning to our students are beginning to transition. It's the end of the semester for them. So you might see some cancellations coming up the first week or two of January, especially for your upper level students. They are studying hard for major exams that are life-changing, lifetime important exams. It's not like our fifth graders taking exams in America. These are major, major, whether you even get into high school or college at all, let alone a good one. So we need to back off a little and realize our students are going to be taking exams and studying. So you might see some cancellations in the weeks leading up to Chinese New Year. If your students are taking classes, they're distracted. They're either having parties at school or they're exhausted because they're taking exams. They are burnt out. They don't want to see you. Mom's making them take classes anyway. We need to put on our extra special patience hats for these kids. Give them some space. Yes, correct error pronunciations, but also, yes, allow them to be overworked, overexhausted, overexcited kids, and just a little bit more patience. Okay, just putting that out there. They want to show you their toys. They're bored. They're whatever. They just be a little more patient, a little more smiley. Cut them some slack. Don't rat them out to parents every time they do every little thing. Just give them a little extra love. It will go a long way towards you booking them as regular students in the future. So keep that in mind. So they've got these exams coming up. Now the actual holiday this year is, I've got my notes so I can make sure I get my dates right. It is January 25th. So most schools will be closed somewhere around beginning January 19th. And it runs, that holiday for them is usually at least a 30-day holiday. So it's going to end somewhere around February 16th. Now, just like in America, school districts, private schools are different all across the country. It might be a couple days before, up to a week before that, starting earlier. It might go a week or two longer than that. It might be shorter, it might be longer. So it is different across the big country of China, just like school districts are different in their days off. across the big country of the United States. So keep that in mind. So that's a general. So generally about January 19th to about February 16th this year, general. Um, some schools are off for 30 days. I've had some of my upper level students tell me they're off as long as 50 days this year. So that also depends on if they go to an international school. They might have less time off because they already just took 2 weeks off for Christmas if they're in an international school. So this can widely vary across your students. Now, what I have found is many of my students are pretty close to the same time period off, except for my international students. And that's often because you may not realize it, but you'll have a lot of students who actually know other students of yours. They're in the same school district. You, by word of mouth, they've recommended you, but be prepared for any range of that. Now, in my experience, Chinese families, now this isn't just my experience, this is a well-known documented fact. This is a huge travel time for many families. This is when families travel around the country. They will travel internationally. This is a big vacation time. Most office workers type of people get at least 1 week, one whole week off for Chinese New Year. So many families will travel, especially that first week. Will travel together. Families who can afford to take more vacation time, which is often some of our students because their families can afford to take VIPKid classes, will also take additional travel time. If not, maybe one parent will, maybe mom will stay home. And families do very much like I do with my family when my kids were younger and we had a vacation time in the summer or whatever, if kids were off of school. So in the mornings, you know, you make sure your kid gets the reading time in. They have a story time. They'll do a couple pages in a math workbook to keep their skills sharp, whatever. Get some housework done. Do things in the morning and then take off as a family to do fun things throughout the day. Go to the zoo, go to the museum, go see a movie, go out to lunch with friends. And our Chinese families do a lot of the same. So you can expect a lot of students that normally would take classes with you in the morning, which would be their evening after school. You can expect them to take evening classes in U.S. time instead because that is their AM. So right now, you should begin opening up those AM slots in your the evening slots in your U.S. time. Start opening them right now because students can begin booking. We're already booking like what, January 13th, 14th, 15th already. And so some students may already be out of school or be thinking of that. So go ahead and open your evening times if you can. This will help you get some classes in to replace what you might lose in the morning. Or if your morning classes stay strong and you can add evening also, then this is a great time to make a little extra money. Okay, so go ahead and start opening those now. Let parents see that they're open because they can start seeing some of those. And you can even put this in your feedback to students now. During Chinese New Year, I will have morning classes in, excuse me, I will have morning classes in Beijing time. If you would like to take classes in the morning before your family holiday activities, please look at my schedule for those. Let them know you're going to be opening up some of those. Okay. Now, another tip is many students take a break from those major course classes because there's 12 classes, there are assessments, and VIPKid markets these winter camp classes. These are the supplementary. There are some STEAM classes with science and health and music, and there is a fun reading class, like story time reading class. There's a health class. There's all kinds of really cool classes, and these are shorter. They're marketed to parents. Some of them are only like 4, 6, 8 lessons long. They're not 12 lessons long. It's a great time for kids to take a break from all of those assessments all of the time. So make sure you get as many of those certifications as you are interested in and as you have any expertise in Don't go through and Google all the answers and grab a bunch of supplementary courses that you have no interest in teaching or you know nothing about, because it is going to be very difficult for you to adequately prep for these classes if you have to look up everything before the class starts. But if you have an expertise, then that would be a great thing for you to do. Grammar, proper pronunciation, things like that. Now, one thing I love about the supplemental classes is they are a great exposure to our Chinese students for the Western style of education. Many of them are inquiry based. They're very student led, critical thinking. It's not like they are used to just spitting back the correct answer. They have to think and process and work through a lot. So these can be a bit difficult for our students who are not used to this, but they can also be an exciting exposure to this Western style of education that is far different from their major course classes. So just enjoy that time with them, or not. You want to take a week off, and not lose your regulars. A great time is that week either right before or right after, like the January 19th through the 25th, which is the week before where most kids are off school. But knowing that parents will be having time off also, that week starting January 25th and that the week following, many families will be traveling. So you might just want to take some time off, take the month off, go on a cruise, whatever. Totally up to you. Do not worry about losing your regulars, because many of your regulars may not be taking classes at their regular times. So no worries there. If you need some time off, this is a great time to take time off. Our students will be traveling and taking time off as well. Please be patient with their internet issues, with their sound issues. They're going to take classes from hotel rooms, from a park, from a bus. I had one literally riding on a scooter, moving scooter in city traffic with the student holding an iPad. It was hair raising. Be patient, smile, no biggie, and just run with it and enjoy this Chinese New Year. Thanks.